Starting off with Daily Trust, let's take a look at the stories that made it to the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. We have a bold lead there in front. Senate AGF to review tax reform bills today. Public hearing suspended indefinitely. A new committee on aberration. That's on page 4. We have on the top how tax reform bills put morale on the spot. And staff opted for voluntary retirement, says CBN. 12 burned to death in Yobe Road accident. That's on page 7. And then lower there we have Lakurawa responsible for Zamfara explosion, says the police, and how 4 police officers stole 43 million from cargo driver. Federal government declares special end-of-year train services for Nigerians, and ex-Kwara Governor Ahmed misappropriated 5 billion naira UBEC funds, said witness. Now, to get, if you're interested in any of the stories here and to get more information, do also grab yourself a copy of the Daily Trust newspaper.
All right, move on to the Punch newspaper this morning is staying with the issues around tax reform. Senate suspend debate. Panel meets AGF today. Senate constitutes special committee to address concerns. Presidency urges urgent passage. I think that's the problem with Nigeria. The whole reason why this has to be rushed. And to other stories, fuel import hits 2.3 billion liters despite local production. Senate summons Keamo over flight delays on orders. FG fires Togo, Benin degree holders from NDAs. And Naira devaluation raises foreign debt by 30 trillion. To other stories, Zenith Bank wins FT's Bank of the Year award. Atiku orders knock police as court reminds Farotimi. And PDP will teach APC lessons in Oyo and Osun. And this is coming from Governor Makinde.
All right, let's look at The Guardian. The Guardian this morning on Antimicrobial Awareness Week. Antibiotics abuse worsens drug resistance and claims 64,500 lives yearly. We have that boldly. And then on tax reform bills, Senate bows to pressure, suspends hearing. And why NIN has not been effective in stemming kidnapping. You find that on page 29 of The Guardian. MacArthur others lament losses of $200 billion to corruption in Nigeria. Court remands Farotimi till December 10th for alleged defamation. Still on Vanguard, NNPCL faults Falana, insists Port Harcourt refinery producing fuel. Oyo Osun residents will never allow APC back in power, Makinde says. And federal government earns 2.78 trillion naira taxes from telecom tech companies in Nigeria. That's some business.
All right, to the Nigerian Tribune that has been in the stand since 1949. Still also leading with the issues around the tax reform. Senate suspend action on tax reform bills. Summons emergency meeting with Attorney General of the Federation to iron out disputed areas. And to other stories, different from what we have read from other papers today. Bandits plant explosives along Zamfara Road, kill travelers. South Africa eyes Nigeria's lithium for electric vehicle revolution. And PDP crisis, Board of Trustee members meet today. These are some of the stories that made it to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. All right, we now have joining us in the studio to make sense of some of the stories that made it to the front page, our usual August guest. You know, whenever you see him, you will know whoever was behind that machination. Marlon Zango Yusuf, who is a member of the Daily Trust editorial board. It's a pleasure to have you join us.
Good morning.
And let me apologize ahead for disturbing your sleep again. After retirement, we should let people rest.
I've it's not around, so.
All right, the tax reform bill is everywhere.
Yeah.
The suspension. Some papers are saying, I mean, I've described it in various ways, but basically that process has been halted temporarily. But the presidency is still interested in a speedy passage and has asked for some interface with the Attorney General. Do you think that is all it takes to take care of some of the concerns that have been raised in these nearly 2 years, 2 weeks of firestorm? between the presidency and those who are opposed to it?
Well, I think maybe it's a temporary relief for the presidency, but to me, I think it should have gone beyond that. I think the presidency should just swallow its pride and withdraw that bill, because the presidency or the president doesn't have any problem with the legislators. Rather, he has more problem with the governors and other Nigerians, other Nigerians. So he needs to contact or to do more dialogue with this group of people. You know, when it started with the northern governors, who rejected it outrightly. And we thought it was just an issue of the North rejecting it. But when it went to NEC, which is presided over by the Vice President, there was a total unanimity that the President should withdraw the bill. And what it entails is that for the President to go back and say, yeah, look, let's look at this once again. Let me look at these key stakeholders, because he cannot run away from the fact that the governors are key stakeholders when it comes to that. So for me, withdrawing, asking the Attorney General, as one senator said, is even an aberration in terms of law, because you don't see the executive and the legislature discussing this issue when it is already an agreeing. Because once a bill is in the House, it is left to, it's a prerogative of the House, discuss and make the amendments. What is left for the President is to either assent or reject the bill. For now, asking the Attorney General to come and join them. The Attorney General can come in when the Assembly says, okay, we're going to hold what do you call it? Yeah, exactly. So he has a right to come and explain, or whether he's invited or he can invite himself to that, because it will be open. But for now, to say that this is a way out, I think to just have a way out for this bill is withdraw it, go and meet with those stakeholders. And I think this didn't start today. Remember the Petroleum Industry Act was withdrawn how many times? The armed forces from our was totally withdrawn. So, and it's part of democracy. So I think the president should just say, oh, look, we have made a mistake, let's consult more. And I think when they agree, it will be easier for him too. And by insisting on that, many people have the feeling that, look, there is something behind it. And those who have that suspicion will be strengthened to say, yeah, we told you, like that the president has something to hide on this bill.
All right, thank you so much for that. Now let's touch a bit on insecurity. Lakurawa, you know, there was a period where it was being spoken about a lot. They are here, they are there, and then they came out to say, oh, we've defeated them. And now Lakurawa is back again. They're saying that they are being blamed and held responsible for an explosion in Zamfara State. You know, this is coming from the police. Now, what's your take on the back and forth on fighting insecurity in Nigeria? You know, the repeated information that's being put out there, and it's also at the end of the day eroding trust in the people. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's, to me, it's worrisome. And when I had the story yesterday, and they said it happened in Zamfara. So all along, when these people re-emerge, because they say they have been around for some time, when they re-emerge, they say they were operating between Sokoto and Kebbi State. You remember what happened in Kebbi? They even killed 15 people. And later on, we got assurance that they have been defeated. And the report also we had they were just 250. And they said we even got the support of the Nigerian soldiers to defeat them. Now, for them to appear in Zamfara, it means they are coming into the hinterland, which raises an alarm. I think the police have more explanation to make for us, because how do they reach there? Leaving Kebbi, moving to Zamfara, and even being on our road to plant a device which killed 12 people, let's say, yeah. So I think it raises a lot of question in terms of security and how these things. I think We had a similar thing. How many times did Sheko die? That was the military. They would say technically defeated. He has died, and eventually Sheko was killed by his compatriots. You know. So I think the police need to do more explanation for us. So, for the simple fact that they need the buy-in of the public. And if you need the buy-in of the public, you need to be more straightforward. Can be open so that people can know, look, this is your problem, we can assist. No, this problem has gone and we can go out. And if you remember, the story we have been getting around that area is that farmers cannot even go and harvest their crop. Now that's the bandits. Now they have an additional problem of Lakura coming in.
All right. Yesterday, the Central Bank of Nigeria came out to say that their planned retirement of over 8,000 was the staffs opting to leave the CBN. I mean, at a time in our economy where people want to cling on to anything possible.
I don't know when people struggle to get into Central Bank. I don't know. Somebody who has just spent 4 years and here he's looking forward to at least 31 years in Central Bank before, and you tell me that he wants to go. I think, you see, the problem is that we don't face reality. Our officials always feel that we as Nigerians, we don't have that intellect to discern things. So it's open. If you are going to do it, please say we are going to do it. And if it is according to the law, nobody will fight it. But you don't do something underground, then somebody talks about it and you say, no, it's neither here nor there. People, how did it start? That's the most important thing. How did it start? Did you publish any circular to say, look, or did the people just say, the workers come and say, look, we want this offer? So it must have started this way. You are telling me, I think the explanation is this is our circular, this is the intention of this circular. And, I think those in government should have this realization that the trust between the citizen and the government is getting lower and lower every day. So they need to do more to bring out that trust, or to recover it, to restore it in the interest of our country. Because once there is mistrust between the government and the governors, then there's a problem. There's a serious problem.
We have at least a minute to spare. I would just like your quick thoughts around how 4 police officers stole 43 million from Kaduna. That's much money.
That's much money, actually, and for a police officer who is supposed to
make the road safer.
To catch the thief, and I think it shows this kind of thing. People lose trust in governance, and that's very sad if really it happens.
Painful. You now understand why we hear stories around how people lobby
lobby to how snakes eat millions of naira,
monkeys hide money,
all those ridiculous things come.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, sir, as always, for finding time to be in the studio with us and for sharing your insightful perspectives on some of the stories that made it to the headline.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's been a beautiful day today, largely focused on the media, and we have media aficionados join us in the studio to discuss the media and issues around the media. And we're rounding up with another media professional here with us. It's been all about us, for us, and with us. And it's on this note I want to thank you for allowing us free access into your living room and into your mind. I hope you use our information positively for the betterment of yourself, for the society, and for Nigeria at large. Let's do this again tomorrow. I am Sunday Michael Ogo.
And I am Lillian Ogazi. Thank you so much for sticking around. At the top of the hour, we'd have sports, we'd have business, and we'd also have news. So do well to stay, because we have lots of information out there for you. And to help the media, keep yourself informed. Confirm your news and stories before you share them out from, confirmed and properly informed sources, so as to keep yourself informed and also put the right information out there at all times. Do well to have a lovely day ahead.